Hi everyone. I thought that I would do a video about mental health, and as everyone knows, I have had anxiety and depression for over a decade. I was diagnosed when I was 15, and this has normally been under control over the past few years since I was about 21. So 8 years it's been like controlled like really well, so that it wasn't getting in the way of my life. But last year, obviously, with the coronavirus and me and my husband starting fertility treatment and everything else going on in our lives, I noticed that my mental health was going down. I noticed that I was waking up shaking. I noticed that I wasn't enjoying things. All the classic signs of depression and anxiety. I was just bursting into tears. I had the other day, I was trying to put on my bra and I couldn't do the clip up for some reason, and I just burst out crying and I got really frustrated over just that simple thing, instead of actually maybe looking at the clip and being like, okay, it's maybe bent a wee bit and fixing it. So I thought I would talk to everyone about things that I've been trying to do to try and get my mental health back on track, because I've spoke a lot about mental health, but I've not really spoken about the kind of journey of mental health, and that, yeah, you can get it stable, but that doesn't mean, sadly, that it's always going to be stable. Life throws things at us. None of us expected this coronavirus pandemic. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that that would happen. And never in my wildest dreams would I have thought a job that I've been doing for almost 6 years, that I would literally be at my work in tears or sitting on the floor going, I cannot cope. I've been doing the job for almost 6 years. It's not that I can't do it, it's my mental state at the moment. I can't cope. And the guilt and the feeling of that. So I thought I would talk to you guys about things that I've been doing to try and get my mental health back on track, because self-care is so important. So important. I cannot stress that enough. And everyone has different things that they do to try and help themselves relax and understand. So here are some things that I've been trying recently and my experiences with them. So the first thing that I done when I noticed that my mental health was slipping was ring my GP. And I didn't want to go on tablets because of the fertility treatment. So at first I spoke to my GP about that, and I didn't take any tablets. I wasn't prescribed anything. And I was trying to do the relaxation and, the mindfulness and stuff, which I've always struggled with. And I was like, take time off work, and that didn't help. So I then rang my GP back again. I was ringing my GP every week, and I did get prescribed a really low dose of sertraline, which is, as far as they know, is okay to take when you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant. Obviously nothing is 100%, because I can't do studies on pregnant women, that's unethical. So I got prescribed that, and that did help me. It was only 50 milligrams that I was prescribed. So that kind of helped take the edge off. It didn't totally make everything like gone. That's a very important thing that I need to stress. Tablets don't take away everything like that. They're not a magic miracle drug. They just take the edge off a little bit. So then, obviously with that edge being off, I could then try other things, and I was more clear. So I started to try and do different kind of patterns at work. So I was still going to work, but I wasn't doing as long as shifts, and I wasn't doing shifts where like I was alone all the time. So I was doing shifts when one of my colleagues would be on in the morning as well. So then that kind of helped. And really communicating with my boss on what was going on really helped. And although it's scary to do that, to communicate with your boss when you aren't doing well, I cannot stress enough on how important it is to actually be honest with your employer. I cannot stress that enough, because when you start hiding things and you're being off, it really doesn't look good, because then they don't know what's going on. And getting notes from your GP to explain what's going on, like sick lines, and being honest with your work, it really helps. I can't stress that enough. So then, as my mental health continued to not be good, I have recently started doing breathing exercises. Now I have the Apple Watch, which you can see behind me, it's actually charging, because I have it on my wrist all the time. And on that, I've set up alerts to do breathing exercises. Now that actually has a wee breathe app on it, but also the Calm app that you can get on your phone. I was looking for my phone, but my phone is recording. Oh my god. But yeah, the Calm app also has that, and the Headspace app is also really good. And for me, I would always forget to do it. I'm so bad for that. I forget to even take my tablets. So in your phone, you can set up reminders yourself to do certain things. So in my phone, I have at a certain time in the morning, it's like comes up and says inhaler, and then another time it says tablet, and then another time it says vitamin, and another time it says breathe, because otherwise I would not do these things. And especially when I'm in a bad mental state, I forget everything. Like I've done some really stupid things that I wouldn't normally do, and I just laugh about them because you have to. Like the other day, I drove my husband up to his work, and I went to him, "Oh, do you have your keys?" Because he was coming back at a time where I would have been asleep, so the door would have been locked. And he was like, "No, you've got my keys," because I drove his car. And I was like, "Oh, here you go." And he's like, "But how are you going to drive home if I have the keys to the car? And how are you going to get in the house when he would have the keys?" And normally I would have just been like, "No, it's fine. I'll set an alarm and get up and, unlock the door when you're due to come in." But I wasn't thinking straight. Yeah. So, and these are fine, it's normal, it's natural. Your brain isn't in the right place, so don't beat yourself up about these things. But yeah, I found for me, if you have got an Apple Watch, you can set reminders, and the apps will do it with you. So that like the breathe, it like vibrates, and you can watch something. So it's like you watch it go, it like opens and closes. And I find that really helpful because I'm focused on something. I'm not just sitting there. But just like if you don't have an Apple Watch, with your phone, you can set up reminders to do things, or apps like Calm, Headspace and stuff, which I have actually had for years, Calm and Headspace, but I was always like, "Oh no, they don't work, and that was my attitude on them. But I'm really trying to give these things a really good go, and not be negative, which obviously in my mind at the moment is really difficult, but I'm trying, and I'm really trying to find ways to relax. Another thing that I've tried, I've tried it various times over the years, is meditation, and this is the one that I'm really struggling with, I want to be able to do it. I love the idea of meditating and just sitting and being calm, but I find it very difficult. So obviously Calm and Headspace do have little exercises that you can do, and the Headspace one I really liked because you could do short daily ones, and it had a little animation that you could watch. So I would just literally sit and have my phone somewhere, and I'd sit and listen to it, or you'd sit and watch the wee video at the start, and I did like that. But again, with my mental state, I would forget to do it, which is why I say setting reminders in your phone really helps. And the Calm one is very good. I have been doing the wee guided meditations. I find in the bath is a way that I do like to do it, because in the bath I find it's closed, it's quiet, you're just lying there, you're nice and warm, you know. I put little candles on, and I find that that is a more easier place for me to relax, is in the bath. So I do put something on, guided meditation in the bath, but it's still trying to get a way that I can just do certain, like during the day, just sit and be like, no, take a moment and calm. But that will come in time, because they do say it's training your brain. So maybe that will come later on, or maybe it's just something that I cannot do. We shall see. Another thing that I have been trying is yoga. I am the most not flexible person in the world. I have short Achilles tendons, so yeah. And so I do have a yoga mat, which I actually bought, I can't even remember, it was over a decade ago I bought this yoga mat, and my cat really likes it, so that's something. And I have been trying to do yoga, and I found this great app that does short yoga routines for different things, and you can create your own routine depending on what like moves you can do and what you're wanting. And I have found that really good, because I don't know yoga, and it shows you how to do the moves. So it's got like little videos. If you click the eye on it, it'll show you someone doing them, and it times you, so you can like stay in the position for like however long you set it to do, and you have a break between each one, and you can set how long you want the break to be. So I find that really good, and I'm doing it in my own home, so it's not like I have to do an online class, and the app was free. So win-win. And also YouTube has loads of people that do guided yoga routines, and again, that's free. And I found being in my own house doing it much easier. I couldn't go to a class, well, you can't at the moment anyway, but I couldn't do like an online class with other people. I would get way too embarrassed. So doing it in my own home is much better, and then if I can't do something, it doesn't matter. But I've been trying to do that, because stretching I did find better than, they always say working out and, you know, doing exercise is great for your mental health. Now, I am a person, I hate exercise. I absolutely hate exercise. I tried jogging. Nope. I did not find that helpful. I just found that a pain, if I'm going to be honest. I do like walking. That's another thing, and I'll come to that later. I do like walking. And the gym, I tried the gym years ago, and I did enjoy it, but mainly for taking selfies in the gym, I will admit. Not the actual working out part. So yoga, it is a workout, and I do find I am tired at the end, you know, then stretching and, you know, strength bit, but it's not like jogging. When I see people jogging, I'm like, how on earth do you find the motivation to do that? But different people like different things. So yeah, walking is another thing, and the Calm app connects with your watch, and it's got like walking and a 5-minute walk exercise that it'll do through your watch and your headphones. So it's like a guided meditation walk, and it's only 5 minutes long, and I found that very good because I can just get out, literally just walk around my local area. It's not like a long walk, and like you're listening to something and go. I find that really good. I mentioned in another video about making a happy playlist, and I cannot stress enough how good that is. Like songs that make you feel good and you've got good memories with. Because I find when I'm in a low place, if I'm listening to music and it is music and a song comes on and you've maybe got a bad memory with that song, or it's a sad song, it makes things worse. So making a happy playlist or a calming playlist or whatever, and consciously selecting those songs can be very helpful. I have a hospital playlist that I listen to on my way to the fertility clinic, and it's all songs that I have great memories with friends, because going to the fertility clinic, I need to be calm as possible, and yeah, I have made a hospital playlist that is on my phone for that. Another thing is counselling, and I am lucky that my employer provides free counselling on a 24-hour service, so I'm very lucky with that. But there are many charities that offer counselling just for donations, and obviously you've got the Samaritans that you can call 24 hours a day if you need to chat to someone. And recently with the coronavirus, I have heard loads of adverts on the TV and radio, and it's like your mental health matters, and go to nhs.scot.inform and stuff like that, because I cannot stress enough that this pandemic and lockdown has had a major impact on people's mental health, and I think people are forgetting that mental health, and the longer this goes on, it's getting really difficult. And people who maybe haven't experienced mental health before are experiencing it, and it is taking people by surprise. You need to talk to someone, and it can be a friend, or sometimes I do prefer talking to someone who doesn't know people that I know. So that's why I find the counselling helpful for me. But there are loads of charities that do offer that, and it doesn't mean that you don't want to talk to your friends about it, and it doesn't mean that you're not being honest. Just sometimes venting to someone that you know they're there to listen can really help. Because I know with my friends, I'm like, sorry, I'm venting so much, and I'm very conscious that they've got a lot of shit going on in their lives. And venting to someone who is there for a certain amount of time and is paid to, or is there voluntarily to listen to people vent in a counselling setting, it then takes that kind of guilt away. And yeah, feeling guilty about it, I've said that a lot, feeling guilty about not being able to go into work, feeling guilty that I'm putting so much stress on my colleagues, feeling guilty that I am venting to my friends and putting that pressure on them, feeling guilty that I'm not then supporting my husband by going to work, so I'm not bringing in what I usually, all these things. It's fine. I am no help to people or my family or my friends if my mental health is really down. So I need to think about myself first and get myself better, so then I can help my family and friends. And it's okay to feel guilty, and it's okay to take time for yourself. It's okay to do this self-care. And don't be so hard on yourself. I've said before that trying to do the meditation and stuff, it just didn't work for for me at that period of time, and I was like, oh, I've failed, and like they say this is great and blah blah blah. It's fine. If you can't do it at that point in time, that's fine. Trial and error on finding things that work for you. Walking your dog, you know, listening to your favorite music on your happy playlist, you know, for me, spending time with my cat, just lying with my cat, looking at my cat, because cats always look so relaxed, you know, stuff like that really helps. For me as well, putting on a TV show that I know really well, like Friends, Big Bang Theory, and stuff like that, that I don't need to fully concentrate on, really helps because I know what's going to happen. Playing a game that I know really well, for me, Spiral, GTA, you know, things like that. Those are completely different games, Spiral and GTA. But yeah, putting on a game that I know really well, and I enjoy, really helps because I know what to do. I've not got to, you know, be like, I can't do this, you know. And when I'm in that state, playing something that I don't know and I've got to figure out, I just get frustrated with. So playing a game that I know really well and I'm like, yeah, I can do this, and you're going through the game and you enjoy it, can really help. But yeah, if anyone has any other tips for me or anyone else, leave them in the comments, because I would love to know what you guys think and what you guys find, because we need to help each other and share information on mental health and share tips on what people have found have worked for them. Because the stuff that the doctor tells you, like the meditation and, you know, stuff, and yeah, breathe space and stuff, doesn't always work for everyone. And it depends on what stage you're at with your mental health. So I hope you're all keeping safe, and I hope that you all are looking after yourselves and doing self-care. And remember, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, and you will get through.